Um, when I was a young boy, I lived in Putao. My father was an elder in our church, and my grandfather was a preacher. He came from China, escaped from there to Burma. And when I was a young boy at that time, my parents and my grandfather wants me to become a servant of the Lord. But I once planning to become a soldier. My friends called me and we talked together. So we went to join army, but my parents did not agree. And one night, I had a dream, a great golden chair coming down from heaven with a great light into my room. And then the chair came above my head, and the voice said, "Come and sit on the chair." So I sat on the chair, and the chair took me all the way to the sky, with the above the clouds. And then the voice said, "Look down to the earth." And when I looked down, there's lots of people, all kinds of work. Uh, People are doing all kinds of work. And the voice said, all those people are sinners. And you have to go back and tell they're sinners and preach the gospel to them. And then the voice said, you cannot go from here. You have to go back. So the chair, the golden chair, coming down, all the way down to my room. And then I woke up. And next night, I was outside the village in a dark place, and 7 people with white clothing with torches. They're searching for me, and they're coming after me. I was afraid and was running away, but they're always following after me. And then I came to the middle of the village and I tried to hide behind the door of someone's house. And then all the 7 people with white clothing, with torches, they came to that house, in front of the house, and they stayed in line. And they discovered I was hiding behind the doors. And then they sang a song, God is Love. That's a music in English. And after they sang that music, they were all disappeared. And the third night, I was laying down in my bed, and then one of my brother died, and he's buried the corner of our backyard and the corner. But somebody with a white cloth, he brought the coffin from there to next to my room, and he came up from the wall to the window, and he brought very large cross, and that man said, the cross is for me. And there's written on the cross says the way to heaven in English, and he said this is for you. So I told him to take it to inside the house and put it into above the shelf. And then he went to inside the house and he put that cross on the shelf. And then he came back to my room, and then he went back down from the window. And after these 3 dreams, I decided to go to Bible school. 2 of my friends, and I came to Chiang Mai to study Bible. And when I came to Chiang Mai, There's no Bible school, but there's only a garden and a wooden house and no buildings besides that wooden house. So we study under the trees, lychee trees, mango trees for classes. And we study Bible and English from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and 12 o'clock we eat lunch. After 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we work on the building. So every day, Monday to Friday, on Saturday, we build the building every day. So we study in the morning, in the evenings, afternoons, we work. After 4 years of study, the school requires to have internship to graduate from that Bible school. So I decided to go to a remote area in a Lisu village. That village is central of Thailand, and the Lisu village is located 9 hours walk from the main road. So there's no electricity, there's no Christians except one family. They're supposed to be Christians, but they don't know anything. They don't know how to pray, they don't know how to read and write. Nobody knows anything in that village. Totally, they're non Christians. So they built me a bamboo house just outside the village. And that place is always the dogs are barking every night. And they did not tell me what happened, why these dogs are barking in that place, but they just built me a bamboo house, two-room house, one room for cooking and living and study, the other room for sleeping. So I was in the house for 6 months, and mostly all the young people came every night because no electricity. We had to use pine wood, bamboo to light the house. Sometimes lamp to light the house. From 7 to 9 o'clock, we study Lisu alphabet and gospel songs every night. And when about 3 months, they're able to sing some gospel songs. They're able to write some. They're able to read some. So wherever these people, they're not Christians, but they're the people of the village, the Lisus, boys and girls. They learn to sing. They learn to read and write. So they write everywhere they go, on the trees. They sing Christian music wherever they go. And then the shaman, the evil spirit doctor of the village, he said that the dogs bark at barking every night near our house, then near the house where I live. They said that's the evil spirits are there. And they said that a person, born, a baby born died, was very near there. So the evil spirits are around there. But when we sing music, the dogs chase away the evil spirit down to the valley, and the shaman said all the spirits are running away from the place where we study and we sing. After 6 months in that village, 15 families became Christians. The village has 30 families total, but only 15 they became Christians. And then we built a bamboo church building, and we study there, and we worship there. We study Lisu, we study Bible, and we worship there. And then in that place, many other young people came and learned Lisu, how to read and write. And they're able to read and write. They're able to read Bible. They bought Bibles. They bought hymn books. But their parents did not allow them to become Christians. Only 15 families became Christians. The others, though daughters, their sons want to become Christians, but the parents did not allow them to become Christians. And after 10 years later, I met many of the people, those who came to study little alphabets and reading and writing in that village, in another villages. When I go for evangelism, I met two couples in that village. They were students at that time, but 10 years later, they were not with their parents anymore. They married and they settled down in a different village, and they were Christians. And one of them became a deacon in the church. And then I went to another village, and I met two other people. They came to study Lisu alphabets and Bible in that village. They also became Christians. So from there, I learned that when you teach and preach the gospel to young people, though they're not becoming Christians at that time, the word they heard is still in their hearts and working. And later, 10 years or maybe 5 or 10 years later, they became Christians.